On January 27, 1692, two Wabanaki messengers met with Wells, Maine's minister, George Burroughs, and informed him that the captives taken at York, Maine, 3 days before, could be ransomed in 2 to 3 weeks. Burroughs sent a letter to the Massachusetts governor and council. In the letter, one of the things that he wrote was, "God is still manifesting his displeasure against this land. He who formerly hath set to his hand to help us, doth even write bitter things against us." Faced with multiple attacks by French and Wabanaki forces in his life, he survived each one. Condemned to die for witchcraft, he did the impossible, reciting the Lord's Prayer perfectly at his execution. Welcome to Salem Witch Trials Daily. I'm Josh Hutchinson.
I'm Sarah Jack. Today we talk about the former Salem Village minister accused of witchcraft, George Burroughs.
George was born in Virginia in about 1653. His father, Nathaniel, was a successful merchant who moved to Maryland and then returned to England when George was young.
George and his mother stayed in America. He was raised in Roxbury, Massachusetts, and his mother joined the church there in 1657.
George graduated from Harvard in 1670, and his mother went back to England sometime in the mid-1670s.
First, he married Hannah Fisher of Dedham by 1673, and their first child was baptized in Roxbury in February 1674.
Soon after the birth of his first child, he became the minister in the original Falmouth, Maine, which is now Portland, not to be confused with the new Falmouth, Maine. On August 11, 1676, Falmouth came under attack by French and their Wabanaki ally forces, and Burroughs had to escape to the temporary refuge on an island in Casco Bay, along with the family of afflicted girl Mercy Lewis. So they knew each other in Falmouth.
He served briefly as John Millwright's assistant in the church in Salisbury.
And then he became the minister in Salem Village, hired in November 1680, and served until 1683.
The first 9 months in the village, Burroughs, with his wife and 2 children, resided in the home of Rebecca Putnam and John Putnam Sr.
Then they lived in the brand new parsonage that was being built while they were staying with the Putnams.
His wife, Hannah Fisher Burroughs, died in September of 1681, and the Burroughses had 4 children together, 3 of whom survived infancy.
He married again, this time to Sarah Ruck Hathorne, the widow of Captain William Hathorne, who was the brother of the witch judge, John Hathorne. So he was basically like the brother-in-law of John Hathorne when he marries Sarah Ruck Hathorne. And the couple has 4 children together. His salary unpaid, George Burroughs left Salem Village in March 1683, returned to Falmouth, Maine, which had been rebuilt during his time in Salem, and he became the minister in Falmouth again.
He did return to Salem Village in late April 1683 to obtain his back pay and settle his debts.
While he was in Salem Village to settle his debts, John Putnam Sr. had him arrested for unpaid debt before anything could be resolved. But he was released after one night in jail. And on this debt issue, George Burroughs did have to make the trip back from Maine to Salem Town's court in June 1683. But fortunately for him, Putnam now dropped the suit because Burroughs ordered the village to pay part of his unpaid salary directly to Putnam.
He moves again in 1686. He negotiated with Black Point, Maine, to become their minister, and this may have been because Falmouth struggled to raise his salary, as this is noted about the situation later. He apparently then preached in both Black Point and Falmouth.
We know he was in Falmouth on September 21st, 1689, when French and Wabanaki forces again assaulted the town. But after this attack was repelled, between then and May 1690, his wife, Sarah Ruck Hathorne Burroughs, did pass away. And he took the minister job in Wells, Maine, and relocated there.
Both Falmouth and Black Point fell to attackers in May of 1690.
George married again. This time his wife's name was Mary. We mentioned the York attack at the top of the show, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. This happened on January 24th, 1692, the attack, and January 27th, 1692 is the date of the letter that Burroughs sent to Massachusetts pleading for help. So later in 1692, May 4th, George Burroughs is arrested on witchcraft charges in Wells, Maine, and transported down to Salem.
He was accused by the afflicted girls of murdering his first two wives and the wife of his Salem Village successor, Deodat Lawson.
His third wife left his children behind in Wells and fled with the one child they had together.
Wells was attacked after Burroughs was arrested.
Burroughs was executed on August 19th, 1692. According to Thomas Brattle, Burroughs and the others who were hanged that day forgave those who'd condemned them.
According to Robert Califf, Burroughs perfectly recited the Lord's Prayer.
The very fact that he had survived multiple attacks in Maine may have been a factor in the accusations against him. Join us again tomorrow when we talk about Salem Village's long struggle for independence from Salem town.